Wow. Can we talk briefly about the amendments? There are 5 constitutional amendments statewide on the ballot. And as you mentioned previously, Clancy, they were very much pushed by Governor Jeff Landry. But how are they doing? And did you expect them to perform in this way, or at least this dramatically?
4 out of the 5 are getting crushed. And we can call those right now. They're done. Amendments 1, 2, 4, and 5 are going down. Amendment 3, which was to fund a teacher pay raise by getting rid of some trust funds that voters established over the last 20 to 25 years for lots of different construction projects and coastal protection, et cetera, et cetera. Not coastal protection, but, you know.
Well, they were educational trust funds.
Educational trust
these 3
funds.
in question.
And they're going to get rid of those trust funds, put the money towards paying down the teachers' retirement system's debt, so that local parishes don't have to contribute to that retirement fund for that debt, and use that money instead to give teachers a pay raise. But it's kind of a sleight of hand, because the legislature, with the governors, pushing this idea, we're going to cancel the trust funds, and then we're going to make parishes give teachers a pay raise. So with all the money that's coming out of the state trust fund, the state is going to save money, and parishes are going to be saddled with the permanent responsibility for giving teachers a permanent pay raise, which the legislature had been giving with state funds for the last 3, 4 years. But it had to come up every year because it wasn't really a raise, it was a stipend. It didn't contribute towards their increasing their retirement benefits. They had to go up there every year and beg for it. So it's a trade-off.
And this would,
and a lot of teachers unions came out against it, by the way.
Sure, they did. And I did all the stories on the amendments, covering them all this year, and this one to me was the most confusing, or maybe the most nuanced, because there was so much to it. There's kind of 3 steps to this, and the actual trust funds
Nuance is a very polite way to put it. It was confusing.
It was confusing.
More than anything.
It was confusing. Not that most of the amendments don't have some element of confusion, but this one.
And what surprised me is the amendment in effect said teacher pay raise.
Yes.
And oftentimes you would think if you had an amendment that said teacher pay raise, it would pass easily.
Sure.
Because people generally support a teacher pay raise if they hadn't heard otherwise.
Right now it's losing 51-49, according to Secretary.
Now, one thing I'd like to talk about on the amendments, Amendment number 5, the mandatory retirement age of judges. This would raise it from 70 to 75. It's getting defeated almost 3 to 1 right now. But I think this has a wider meaning. I think a lot of people could sit down and say, well, I think judges, because of their experience, if they're in the middle of a term or whatever, they should be able to serve maybe another 4 or 5 years until they're 75. But I think there is a big movement in the state, and I think in the country, for younger people to get elected, and people who have a few gray hairs not. And I think that's
takes the pressure off us.
It takes
Not
the
that I was
pressure
ever going to run for anything.
Completely off us. And I think people are looking for new faces, younger people, a new generation. And I think the judges got caught in that, even though it's not really about that at all. They could make a strong argument why that could be done.
Sure.
But I think that's part of this new generation thing.
And also, I think it's a reaction against Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Both of them. Both of them.
Oh, interesting.
Exactly.
And
the 2 oldest presidents that we've ever had, or just about the oldest.
Right, exactly.
It is interesting to me that this is the only position, judges are the only position in Louisiana that have a maximum age mandated by law.
Right.
And more than half the states in the country have some type of a law like this. The ages vary a lot. Louisiana is definitely on the younger side. Vermont goes all the way up to age 90. But that's an interesting perspective, that this could be about.
But don't expect legislators to introduce an amendment to put an age limit on legislators or governors. But I'll tell you what, if Louisiana does not have a voter initiative law, which allows voters by petition to put a constitutional amendment on the ballot, but if we had it, I think they would do it. They would say, legislators got to be out, all public officials got to be out by 70 or 75, and that's it, boom. And you'd be surprised how that might go.